What's going on, everybody? So I'm trying a super low latency just to see how well that works. Can everybody hear me all right? Nothing. I see yeses. Cool. That still seems pretty delayed. Seems like the same amount of delay as regular latency. No delay is fine. It's a good, at least for me, it seems about 8 seconds or something. It's almost worse than it was last week with just normal. Video widget to top. You mean like the webcam? I could, but why? Let's test it again. So today I thought we would poke around on HackerRank. I've actually never been on HackerRank before besides the homepage. So I thought we'd poke around there. And then a teaser for probably next week, we'll start streaming TensorFlow.js. And then after the stream, I'll put out typical videos for TensorFlow.js, like tutorial videos, mostly since the streams probably take a whole lot longer to get over the same amount of content. From where is Sentdex streaming? Mars. Puts your face over your webcam? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sure what that means. My webcam is my face. Or is it you mean like the subscription or something? Is that what it's doing? Yeah, I know I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's silly. Put this up here. There you go. Is that better? So I also just wanted to point out a crazy person real quick. This guy. An SFTP client in Python and tkinter. That looks pretty good. I don't know if that's how tkinter looks on other devices or what, but on Windows, at least for me, it doesn't look like that. Yeah, this is like Ubuntu or something, or Linux. So at least for now, I'm just poking around Reddit and then HackerRank. We're just going to poke around there too and see how useful chat can be in solving problems. Ooh. Public pressure there. Google not reviewing the Maven contract. Don't be evil after you've been caught. I think I read somewhere they removed the don't be evil, and I forget what the other thing was. They had like another slogan, they removed that too. Why incognito? I gotta hide from the NSA, man. They're tracking everything. If you're in incognito, you cannot be tracked in any way. At least that's my understanding. How to get started with deep learning? Yeah, go to the was that a serious answer? Yeah, definitely, man. If you're in incognito, especially if you're using a Google product, you are covered 100%. I wonder why they got out of the project, if it was just due to social pressures or what. How's Russia feeling? It's good. Can I download all the Python libraries at once? You can use something like Anaconda or some sort of compiled distribution, basically, with like all the packages in it. Wouldn't recommend it, but you can. I don't drive in Russia. I can't leave the building, so it doesn't really matter. Why aren't we able to simulate the human brain? I can simulate the human brain on. There's really not much difference. I mean, TensorFlow and JavaScript and Python, the naming conventions, I guess. It's like a 90% coverage, I want to say, for TensorFlow.js. What is hackerrank? It's like a challenge, like a coding challenge website, I guess. What do you think Charles is? A lot of linear algebra. What a Python developer should know to get employed as a Python developer. I don't know how to learn stuff. That's the same for any developer, though. As long as you can learn stuff, you can just get any job you want in programming, or anything, really. A ton of if statements. Yeah, Charles has a lot of if statements, too, though. A lot of rules. How do I decide what videos to make? It's just whatever I'm working on or interested in at the time. Pretty much. But there's like a just endless amount of topics to cover. Why do people like Python? Because it's easy to write and you can make cool stuff in like no time. What are you doing with hackerrank? We're just going to run through it. I've actually never used hackerrank before, so I'm just curious how that goes. I'd like to eventually be able to do stuff like that's right, Scott. If you're a sponsor, you can choose between all of the topics that I'm interested in possibly doing, which is actually what happened last time. So I did a vote for like the next topic that we're going to cover, and the sponsors decided that it was going to be TensorFlow.js. No surprise. My view on blockchain. It's interesting technology. It's good networking technology, basically. It's kind of weird. I think it's weird how like we can have such hard networking challenges, and then someone comes up with something like that. Like the way that it works is not really all that complex, and that we missed it for that long just is pretty confusing to me. But it's just weird how hindsight's like so 2020. If you are a sponsor, you could get a role. That's right. You get a pretty color on the Discord too, and you get a logo next to your name, and you can use all of our awesome emotes. Such as, oh my gosh, blockchain tutorial. Dude, I just can't get into blockchain programming, man. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you mean there. How can I store variables in TensorFlow for next time training? Like you can save, your models and stuff like that. I'm just not sure what you mean by variables. Like you can save your model and load it back up, but it's about. I'm not really sure what else you're asking there. You didn't get a notification for this. If you didn't get a notification for this video, I don't know how you're here. Did you see it like in Discord or something or what? I've actually never used, I don't think I've used PyTorch. So I can't really answer that. I know PyTorch is like, I'm not really sure it's gaining too much more steam now, but it was definitely like a huge popular question that I was getting a lot. I've just never used PyTorch. If I know how to solve a problem, it's going to take me a long time to try to solve it using some other thing, unless there's a really, really good reason. And I'm not really sure what that really good reason would be to use PyTorch. I hear it's faster than TensorFlow, but so part of the problem is with like just any sort of, even like the higher level frameworks too, but like with TensorFlow, what I really like about it is there's a lot of research that's done with TensorFlow. So when Google does something or whatever, they're always using TensorFlow. So there's like already a working example a lot of times with just brand new research that's like bleeding edge research, and it's already in TensorFlow for you. So I just tend to use TensorFlow pretty much for that reason, because it's already there. You don't have to do any converting or anything like that. Are you getting ready for it? No. Never. Hopefully no real jobs in my future. Why TensorFlow.js? I really don't want to make this too much about TensorFlow.js because that's pretty much what we're going to cover next week. But basically with TensorFlow.js, the benefit you get there is like anybody can run it on basically any device that has a browser. There's no install required, so there's also like TF Lite, but you'd still have to install things and stuff like that, whereas like TensorFlow.js is just easy, like no hurdles for people to use it, so that's why. The ARM project is RIP. No, the ARM's actually still going. I'm trying to convince them to send me a second ARM because basically at this point, we could go two ways. One is like to have the ARMs compete against each other and kind of be more of like an adversarial type of system to actually train itself. Or we could just detect like I'm pointing at it because it is over there. I don't think you can't see it on here. But anyways, we can also just detect when a goal is scored and then use that as training data. But yeah, in the last stream, we were definitely able to get it hit across the board, and it was actually pretty good at hitting it. So no, that project can still definitely go quite a bit further. It's just I really want them to send me a second ARM. We'll see. Any videos of Coding Train? So I definitely checked out Coding Train. He didn't get much further than, like, I think he just did linear regression. I'm not sure if it looked like that was like a currently releasing series. It just didn't get as far as I would hope. And the first few were like just talking about just deep learning in general and like what is TensorFlow. So it just didn't get to the point where I was hoping for. To get the link for hackerrank, just type in hackerrank.com. What's your views on Trump? I'm surprised he got to be president. I think Trump is surprised too. I don't think that was his plan, personally. Did you go to college, university? Yeah, I did. Yep, standing up. No politics. Yeah, I don't find that politics, to be honest. I just think he was surprised. Start coding. Someone tell me how to solve this unbelievably challenging problem. I love how the hint is basically the solution. Do you think Google Languages Go Dart will get common in the next few years? I don't know anything about Dart, but Go is actually pretty cool. The problem is, again, it's hard for me to get excited about Go because all the things that I would do in Go I can already do in Python, and it's just hard to get excited about some project that's going to take me like probably 10 times as long. Return a. Let's try this solution from Andreas. Whoa. If I can even type. Oh my goodness. This is taking a long time to run this code. We did it. You don't want to see the electronics tutorials. Those drones are like super hacked together. Can you score a girl by showing off your Python skills? Probably, if she was a programmer. No, I don't have any other skills, so we're going to have to continue our practice. Keras or TF-Learn? Honestly, nowadays, Keras. I just haven't done anything on Keras because it feels kind of silly to do a Keras tutorial. Mostly because Keras. So like I just used Keras, for example, to train the TensorFlow.js model that eventually we're just going to use transfer learning for. Let's see, guide to the sequential model. So I don't have any Keras tutorials because like this is it. Like you just import some Keras, you got your feed forward network here, you add some layers, choose your activation, blah, 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 blah. You do your compilation step, give your optimizer loss and any metrics. Where is fit? Here. Fit, cool. You want to save the model, model.save. And honestly, the best thing about Keras, especially over TF-Learn, with TF-Learn, like if you want to load a model, and I'm pretty sure it's the same with raw like TensorFlow, before you can load a model, and this might have been totally changed because this was the case at least in TensorFlow like 1.0, but if you wanted to load a TensorFlow model, you had to define the model first, and if that defined model didn't fit the model that you loaded from a file, it would break. And so I always thought that was so stupid. Like, why not just take, because the saved model is just your weights. So when you load in the weights, you can do the math. You can figure out what is this model, like what's the shape, dimensions, all this stuff of the model. Why can't it do that? So anyways, at least what Keras does, the TF-Learn, again, I haven't used TF-Learn in a while now, but it didn't for a while have any way that you could just load the model. Why do I got to define it first and then load the model into it? It should just save that information when you go to save. So anyways, Keras is just too easy. Like I'm not really sure why I would do a tutorial on Keras specifically. Have you ever done? I like to think pretty much everything I do is hacking, but if you mean, I don't know, like malicious hacking, no. I tend to just think of hacking as like my typical way of solving problems. I pretty much hack my way through everything. But I don't think that's what you meant. Do you even know what Kaggle is? I do know what Kaggle is. I have a Kaggle account. I mean, I've like tried some stuff against my own self, but yeah, I'm not a pen tester by any means. Is Python a good language? Yeah, of course it is. Your hacker rank might be different than my hacker rank. Where is... Oh, so I got to solve it down here. This is a lot of text. I was hoping I could get the console to sit over here. This is a long one. Someone's going to have to read that and submit their ideas here. Would you have a Python as a pet? Yeah, I think so. Why not? I don't mind the Jupyter Notebook, actually. Most of the tutorials that I write now, I actually write them in a Jupyter Notebook and then convert it to HTML. And sometimes I even keep the Jupyter Notebooks like CSS and all that. I really don't mind the Jupyter Notebook. It's just, I don't know, for some reason I don't like to do tutorials in a Jupyter Notebook. I don't really know how to explain it. And there's like certain things that a Jupyter Notebook makes a whole lot of sense for, and then there's a lot of things that it just doesn't. If you're programming, I guess, like super linearly, it does make sense. But if you're not programming like line by line or doing like, I don't know, it makes a lot of sense for data analysis. Like if I was going to do a Panda series again, like I'd probably use a Jupyter Notebook. My VDS are fine. Thank you. Why the title of the video says Hangout? Because I spent a lot of time reading your questions. I've got actually a couple object-oriented programming tutorials. There's like the super simple one, just how to read classes basically, and then there's the slightly more in-depth one in the intermediate. See if I can find it for you. Any tutorial on scikit-learn? Come on, man. Yes. No. I'm just going to say no, and we'll know who that's to. Do you plan to publish any? No, I definitely don't. I'm not a big fan of Udemy. I think I have if you go to my Reddit user account and then search like comments, filter by votes or something, you'll find my thoughts on Udemy. A god of Python. Is this your X in N list? Is that your solution to that? I'm not really sure where you're getting RES, unless you mean the result. You look tired. I always look tired. So I got some coffee. I haven't drank enough coffee. Books for deep learning? No. The problem with books on deep learning is any technology that they're using, and like by the time a book comes out, it's like 2 years past whatever they're teaching you, or at least a year if they really rush it. So that's pretty unfortunate. I don't think you can put like the new lines or something in there. I think we're going to have to paste bin it. Thanks, Bala. We're probably going to bring it back. There was like a huge overhaul that was needed to be made, and we just slacked. How to chat with me on Discord. You just don't. You can join the Discord and highlight me if you want. I may or may not see it. What's my take on competitive pro? If you like doing it, go for it. We need a good way for people to submit multiple blocks here. Like maybe I could have people submit it on the Discord, or maybe add like a text channel, or I'm not sure if you guys can paste in like a paste bin or a gist or something. More Python plays games. What would you do next for Python plays? Best code editor you've ever used? Nano. Python plays StarCraft. Isn't it StarCraft? I think I got this confused last week. I think the issue is it StarCraft that has like the deep learning thing. I'm trying to think what I call that. I want to say it's StarCraft. No Sublime is better than Nanao. Hey, canned donuts. Python plays Fortnite. The problem with first-person shooters is you need to be able to see somebody at way too far of a distance. The only thing you could do is some sort of closed quarters shooting. In Fortnite and like PUBG and stuff, those are too long range. You couldn't do it. We were thinking about maybe doing like CSGO. So that's a possibility, especially because you can like CSGO is like you can use the command line in there, or the console, whatever they're calling it, and issue commands. So that's pretty nice. PyCharm. Honestly, PyCharm probably is like the best Python IDE. It's just I like a simple IDE. Paper.io. I kind of wanted to do a Python plays agar.io. That'd be kind of an enjoyable one. How about tracking people in a... Why? Why would I do that? That sounds like a personal challenge of your own. Python does fraud? Come on. Okay, anybody have a suggestion for how we can submit the code in HackerRank? I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll make a new text channel or something, and you can put it in there. Or we could just paste bin it, but I'm not sure you guys can post paste bin links or a gist. New sponsor. Thanks, AlterRect MLG. Python chess. Someone actually suggested Python chess. The problem with chess is knocking pieces over. We could play like a virtual chess, but at least the previous person wanted to use like a physical chessboard, and that would just be very challenging. Man, where did my Sublime? I had Sublime text up. Yes, chess would be amazing. Do I like racing games? Some of them, if they're like an accurate racing game. Am I afraid of the FBI? Who isn't? If the FBI comes to your door, tell me how you're going to feel. Audio recognition. We'll probably do audio next. That was like the second most voted topic from the sponsors. So that's probably what we'll do next, but TensorFlow.js is coming next for sure. Cybersecurity. No, not from me. I feel like doing any sort of like cybersecurity stuff just begs for people to show you how bad you are at cybersecurity, and I don't need any of that. Thanks. Any type of humanoid robot? No. I'm not really sure what the fascination is with like making humanoid robots. I was just watching one, I forget where I saw it, but it was like some humanoid robot that like crawls around and shoots guns and drives cars and stuff like that. I don't get the idea, like why someone thinks that's n equals 0 for IR. Look at these semicolons. What are you thinking? Make drone videos. The problem with the drone videos is they take so long to cover something, and like I'm not the best electronics person in the world. Almost always tell people to hook things up the wrong way. How do you manage your time? That's a hard one, man. I mean, just as long as you're not wasting your time on stuff that's like not fruitful in any way. I mean, that's about it. And then if you like make a list of things that you want to do, that can help too. But otherwise, I don't really adhere to any sort of like crazy schedule or anything like that. It's just mostly don't waste your time. What are you doing in HackerRank? I'm hacking my rank. I'm trying to use my chat to boost my rank so I can get a job. Machine learning models working, please? I don't think I've ever put out a horrible, a non-working machine learning model. You read my comment? Whose comment was that? I don't know what that is. Wait, you can get a job. I don't know. I think they have jobs through HackerRank, don't they? I would think they would. Do you think tkinter's? No, I don't really think any desktop UI is really worth learning, to be honest. I mean, you might have an employer that wants a desktop UI, but I haven't had a need for a desktop interface in ever. Web apps are where it's at. Even if it's not hosted publicly, like you can host it on your intranet or just locally or whatever. Yeah. I mean, if you have to build a UI, like a desktop GUI, then yeah, PyQt4 or Qt5, depending on your licensing needs. Full-time YouTuber? I mean, not really. I mean, YouTube accounts, like Python Programmer YouTube accounts for about half of my income, though. Somewhere around there. I don't look like Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden looks like me. What website hosting platform do I trust? I mean, I trust a lot of the website hosting platforms. The issue is migrations. Like I was a huge fan of DigitalOcean for a while, and I still am a fan of DigitalOcean, but they like to migrate like every week. I feel like they're migrating some of my servers, and I don't know why they need to keep doing that. Do you think you could get here without school? I didn't study any math or computer science or anything related to either of those things in any school, so yeah, I think you could. Let me try adding enters to this. Thank you, Sergey. Hi, I love your content. You're an inspiration for me to keep learning coding and improving. Hope you will continue to stream regularly. I'll do my best to stream regularly, probably mostly on the weekends. That's kind of my goal. And then maybe sometimes during the week, we will see. What's my qualification? I have no qualifications, man. So close the stream. What made you do hackerrank? Well, so like I'd really like to be able to do like coding challenges. Like I'd rather do Kaggle, I think, on stream and solve those. Although I know like Kaggle's kind of goofy when it comes to, as long as it's publicly accessible, I'm pretty sure I can get away with doing Kaggle. But a lot of times Kaggle has like these data sets that can't be shared at all. And so I think if you streamed them, you could get into some trouble. Arguably, I think a couple of the, I can't remember, I think it was there was one I really wanted. It was like an NSA screening or something like that. And I wanted to do that one, but I couldn't, because it was like the people had like weapons on them or not. And it was like, what quadrant of the body is the weapon or something like that. And like that one I couldn't do, but that one would have been a really fun one to do. So it was a good like object detection type task. But that happens a lot on Kaggle where you can't share the data in any way. So it's kind of a bummer. But anyways, yeah, I'd like to be able to stream more like Kaggle challenges or like some sort of useful thing. Like HackerRank's good for like simple challenges. And I haven't really gone super, like this is my first time on HackerRank, but I'm going to wager that you don't build like any serious applications. Like I think it'd be cool to build like actual cool projects on stream, but the question is, will people contribute or would it just be me coding? In which case I'd rather just do like regular tutorial videos. What's your most controversial CS opinion? I don't know. I'd have to think on that. Controversial. Probably for a while, it was Idle is not a bad editor. I really like using Idle. I don't have any problem with that, and a lot of people have a problem with that. And it's not like I think everyone should use Idle. It's just I like Idle, and that just really rubs people the wrong way for whatever reason. JavaScript, yeah, I actually do. I think JavaScript is really cool. That's somewhat controversial, but I think Idle is worse. Do you use Code Wars? So Code Wars is in the list of things. So I checked out Code Wars too. I don't personally use any of these like coding challenge websites. I usually can come up with my own sort of challenge that I'm more interested in solving usually. Anyway, let's run this one and see. Queued. I love how long these take. Oh, I think we did it. Good work. Who submitted that one? We need some way of tracking who actually is submitting these. Let me see if I can even find it. I don't think I'm going to find it. I'll apologize. Who submitted this? Looks like you're a serious hacker. Don't miss my text. Was it Mario that submitted the solution? Tabs versus space. I mean, I want to hit the tab, but the tab needs to obviously be 4 spaces. Like, it needs to be translated. I just don't want to pound my space key. Was it Mario? Nobody else is claiming. Is it useful to have a game? And you mean like you play a game or you made a game? Honestly, don't know if anyone can be a programmer. I don't know the answer to that one. Like, when I first started, like, when I was like 15 years old, I really wanted to learn how to program. And I tried and I tried and I just couldn't get it. And I thought, well, I guess I'm just not cut out. And then I don't know what happened. And then I was like 21. I tried again. And like, I just understood. I honestly think I attribute it to Python. Like, I was trying to learn like C++ or Java. And like, that's why I don't really think those are really useful to teach to all newcomers. Like, some people can pick up C++ or Java or anything out of the gate, and that's fine. But I think for most people, starting there is like starting in the deep end. Thank you for the sponsor, Serie. Yeah, I started programming when I was 21. A late bloomer. What resources? I used, so I was interested in doing natural language processing. So I used nltk.org/book, and that's how I learned Python. Because I wanted to do natural language processing. It just, as long as you have something that you're interested in doing, I think that's probably what's most important. How old am I? 62. I knew as soon as I said I started when I was 21, everyone was going to be like, how old are you? I'm actually 18. Okay, so it said we got this right? Oh, okay, so we could choose the next challenge. I'm not 26. You got that one wrong. Hey, Dad. Best books for Python. No books. Wow, just because I said I was 26 a while ago. I'm pretty sure I've said that I was 26 in a video. I'm 28. 94. Yeah, no books. I don't personally like books. So not for programming anyways. I don't mind books otherwise. I should try to get Audible to sponsor me because I mostly listen to Audible nowadays. Like when I go for a run or something like that, I'll listen to Audible, but I won't read. I just don't like technical books. I don't see why. I don't know why anybody likes a technical book, to be honest, because you can just Google all your questions and get your answer immediately. But if you use a technical book, I don't know. You might get a more holistic you might learn the topic a little more holistically maybe. I don't know. Why can't I go back in the stream so I can watch it from the beginning? I don't know, man. You're not missing much, I promise. Later on, it'll be posted, though. Thoughts on PyTorch? Never used it, can't tell you. I hear good things. I hate books. I don't hate books. I actually really like books. I tend to read like nonfiction. I like the most boring sounding books ever, like philosophy books or history books. That kind of stuff. But a programming book, no thanks. Yes, I'm in incognito, so I cannot be tracked. It hides my identity. I just answered my thoughts on PyTorch. I never did Forex trading. I do Bitcoin trading, if that's what you mean. And yeah, that still runs. What projects can we... Like anything. Whenever someone asks like what I do in Python, I'm like, well, anything. Except for, I'm trying to think like maybe like robotics or something is fairly difficult. Like if you need a highly reactive robotics or something, it's pretty hard to do that in Python. Is Bucky Roberts a victim of Thanos' finger snap? I'm not sure, man. Yeah, the Bitcoin trading, I haven't traded Bitcoin manually in years. But yeah, that's all automated. Tips on making money. Stream to YouTube and ask people to sponsor you. Or use Super Chat. What language for robotics? For the most part, Python. Like I would use Python for robotics. It's just there's some tasks in robotics where you're not going to get away with Python because you basically are going to need a wrapper. And so if you don't have the wrapper, well, congratulations, you're not going to be able to use Python. How to make money using Python? I just answered that question. You can do anything, man. Create a web app that makes some money or work for somebody, do like some freelance work. Consistent in trading. Yeah, I trade like a grid strategy. It's just a market making strategy. It just earns pretty much a fixed amount depending on volatility. It's like a fixed percentage of the volatility basically is earned. Build a startup. Yeah. Like if you know how to do Python, you can just create endless business ideas, right? If you're not paying somebody to do it, and hosting is $5 a month or less for all your silly business ideas, and then if one of them's good, then congratulations. You're not that rich as a programmer, are you? How do you define rich? Trade Bitcoin with leverage, you'll be rich. No. Leverage is an interesting thing. Like if you actually model with leverage or actually use leverage, leverage is applied to the inputs, but not your output. So no, I would not suggest applying leverage. Which of your tutorials should I watch? I don't think you're going to get business ideas from anybody else but yourself. If you get a business idea from somebody else, there's probably something wrong with it. And it should be something you're interested in. I mean, maybe you could do rich with knowledge. Import some money. That works. Import money from Federal Reserve. This is some pretty interesting chats. Do I ever use Freelancer? No. No, people just find me. I think most of the time, so when I do contracting consulting work, people generally are searching for something they're trying to solve, and then they see I'm solving it on video, and then they decide that they still don't really feel like learning it, and then they contact me. And I have like a consulting page on Python Programming.net, but I don't think most people are finding that first. They just find and contact me. Color your hair green, then stream Roblox. Possibly. Doesn't standing for a lot of time hurt? No. As long as you got a little foot pad, you'll be good. This is a very challenging stream of questions to catch up on. Do you game? Sometimes. HackerRank problem. I think we need a new problem. Or is this the same one? Let's see. Here's our problem. I'm not sure how to put this one on the entire screen. You've got the sample outputs. I could scroll it out. This is way too long of a program or a problem. I quickly get bored of reading this problem. Mic muted. No, I just wasn't talking. How many GPUs have I broken? 2, at least. It was Titan X and then a Titan X Pascal. I think you can even see them in the back. Can you? Let's see. No, well, sort of. It's like right there. I'm using it as a stand to the Oculus, whatever they call those things, sensors. No, I've actually never played Fortnite. I played a little bit of PUBG, but no Fortnite yet. Fortnite looks cool. I just don't have time to play it. Big fan of the standing desk, Greg. I'd recommend it to anybody. In fact, as long as you're a somewhat active person, yeah, GPUs is stands. Like, I don't even sit. I haven't sat at my desk in months. So you don't even really, like, this one's adjustable. Like, I can hit a little button over here to make it go up and down, and I can program specific settings to it. I don't use it. I just keep it standing. And as long as you have a foot pad, like, I have a wood floor in here, so it'd be very uncomfortable to stand all day. But as long as you have like a little cushion or something to stand on, it's good. And they make like specific cushions for doing that, like standing at standing desks. And then no, I don't have any problems. To be honest, it's actually helped. I used to get like a lot of like because I'd go for a run or something like that, and then I'd come back and sit at my desk, and then I don't know the physics of, or not physics, but I don't know the physical nature of it all. But I think going for a run, then come back, and then you just sit. All that stuff just like pools there, and then I'd start getting spasms at night and stuff. And ever since I started standing at my desk, I don't have any of those problems. Like, I'd wake up with my calves like in a full spasm. Not fun. Kiwi is crap. I haven't used Kiwi in a while, but it was very frustrating to use. How long do you stand? All day. I sit to eat. That's about it. When's Python gonna die? No idea. What programs? Any program. Like, I started with doing natural language processing to do sentiment analysis. And I think most people would have said, hey, don't do that. That's a horrible beginner project. It's too big. But that's what I was interested in. So you should work on something you're interested in. Sponsor for cushions. Right? Like something just for fun. Badass Mario that I make in my resume. If you made it, and if the resume is for being a programmer, sure. Like, I think if you can program a good game, that's a pretty good thing to put on a resume if it's for programming. Do you have any cryptos? I have Bitcoin, maybe some Ethereum. I can't remember. It's just Bitcoin though. In before Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash debate. Here's a question I wonder if we can skip this question. This hacker rank challenge is just too long. Ethereum videos. No. Ethereum is like not something I want to cover. Offers from big companies. At least interview offers. And like Apple, Facebook, last week, Uber. There's nothing those companies can offer me. I have complete freedom. They can't offer me any more than I'm making. Arguably, I don't think that I can have a better impact. I don't really have any interest in living in California. Yeah, there's like nothing those companies have to offer me. Nothing against anybody who wants to work for them, but I don't think there's ever going to come a day where there's just such a difference between what I think I would be worth to a company and what a company would be worth to me. Especially compared to the job that I have basically right now. Next is submit the answer then, please. Did you have coffee with Bitcoin in the early? I don't know what you're asking. Try to get a job at... Dude, I definitely don't want a job at Tesla. SpaceX could be cool. I'm just up front, so every time those companies reach out, I don't know if I could pull up the email with Uber. A lot of times they're like confidential emails, so I'm not really sure if I can share them. But it's always the same thing. I just tell them like, I'm super happy with my job right now. At least historically, anything any company's ever offered me has not been more than I make. The job that I work right now, I feel like I have a huge impact and I have extreme freedom. Like I work when I want. I haven't worked for anybody in like almost a decade. So I don't even sure I would be a good employee. Like I'm just honest with them when they reach out, and then usually they go away. Sometimes they still want to hop on a phone call or something like that. But yeah, the interests can't align. Why not a job at Tesla? Any job with Elon Musk? Very nice. I'm not sure I agree with that. Not that working for, I'm not on the bandwagon of this whole recent backlash against Elon Musk with his like factories and all that. But I'm pretty confident the job I have right now is better than the job that a company that Elon Musk runs would be willing to offer me. Will you ever stream on Twitch? The hard thing with Twitch is like my audience is here on YouTube, so I'd rather stream to YouTube and keep everything kind of meshed together on YouTube. Everyone's like running to Twitch, and I'm in general a contrarian. I don't really like to do what everyone's doing. And I mean, YouTube did hit me with the demonetization, and maybe that'll be a problem again in the future. We'll see. And I might wind up having to go to Twitch. Are you doing that for money only, or you want to be famous only? Doing what? I think more people would respect me if I said I had a job at Tesla than when I just say that, oh, I have a YouTube channel and a programming website. I'm not really sure anybody's going to get famous for having a programming YouTube channel, so I'm not sure contracting is better than jobs. I'd rather contract for the same company. That wouldn't be bad. But there's like so much time when you're like derailing and starting up a new project for a new client and all that, and getting to know those clients and getting everything working together. I don't know. I'm not sure contracting is better than a job, but it's nice for the freedom. Do you have a specific source on the internet to learn new stuff regarding programming? Yeah, it's google.com. I'm being serious. That's like all I use. I just Google my questions, and whatever comes up. So if you're not happy with my answer of Google, then I guess it would have to be Stack Overflow. Just the number of times it's come up. Hey, demonetization is here, ready to ruin your life. Yeah. From demonetization, import all. Import piss yellow $. So the GTA self-driving car is not a recurrent neural network. Why don't you deploy your chatbot here? We could. I'm not sure if there's a way to mark. So on Twitch, you can just mark your stream as for mature audiences only. I don't really see that option on YouTube, and I'm kind of afraid because the chatbot can get a little interesting. I feel like doing/studying everything at once. I'm not positive what you're asking there, man. Like you have too many interests or what? How many businesses do you have, and are they all web apps? Well, there's it depends. Contracting and consulting goes under probably 5 businesses, and no, they're not all web apps. So like I say, like contracting and consulting, and then I also have a few other, trying trying to think. So at least with like the Bitcoin stuff, that's not really a web app. Contracting consulting is not a web app. I'd have to pull out my tax return. But yeah, I've got like, I'm pretty sure it's like 5 income streams. We want Charles here. Charles is not family friendly. That might be one reason to stream to Twitch rather than YouTube. Try to get to be president. What a soul-sucking job. I don't think I would want to be president. That's why I feel like Donald Trump did not want to be president. Like, why would he want to be president? Like, too much. Like, if I was Donald Trump in the way that Donald Trump thinks, I feel like I just don't think he actually thought he would be president. I think he probably was surprised. From Sentdex, import knowledge. Again, I honestly don't think that's politics to bring up that. I'm not inputting any thoughts on Donald Trump or anything like that. I just, as far as his politics are concerned, I just think as a person, the last time he ran, it seemed like he mostly was doing it for publicity, and then he does it again. And yeah, I think I don't know, it was such a weird thing, and I think he was surprised himself personally. Do you like teaching? Is that the reason you're creating? Well, teaching is like just a good way to learn and continue learning. And a lot of times I end up, will you actually get noticed? A lot of times, so like if I post something and it's incorrect, someone's going to point it out. And then if people have a lot of times like suggestions or things further to look into or whatever, it's just teaching is just one more part of learning something. Usually when people ask me like how should they learn, I almost always say you also want to have like a blog or something like that. Currently working on Tensor Flow .js. Oh, Neuralink? Sign me up. I think technology like that is like almost impossible for us to really think about the impacts. Kind of honestly, it like makes me think about like TensorFlow.js, where there's like the technology to fully support TensorFlow.js as far as like hardware that people are carrying around in their pockets, like isn't quite yet there. So it's like pretty hard for us to really fully fathom like what are we going to do with that kind of technology. And with like a Neuralink, I don't even think we can even begin to fathom like what we would actually do with that and like the kinds of innovations people would build on top of that. Josh, not a fan of Udemy. Their predatory practices against really both their users and their creators. I would not be sad if Udemy just poof disappeared. Yeah, Sentdex is sentiment index. Started the channel really just to show like basic programming stuff for that business. That was like the first business, Sentdex.com. And then I was just doing tutorials on like the stuff that I was learning to program for that business. And then that's where the channel was born. Really didn't set out to be a tutorial channel at all. YouTubers who you like the most. I don't know, man. As far as like programming YouTubers, dude, I'm blanking on his name now. We talked about him last week. Someone say the name. I know somebody's gonna know who I'm talking about. Thinking of Scott, if you're here. Help! I bet I can just. Yeah, right. Yeah, it was PewDiePie. That's who I was thinking of. Wow, nobody else had the name. Derek Banyas actually is not that. Yeah, Schaefer. There we go. Thank you. I'm surprised not more people complain about Derek Banyas. He's always using like What is he even coding in? I'm pretty sure it's like a WordPad or something. Nobody ever complains about his IDE, but when Sentdex is using idle, it's just too much. Yeah, Corey Schaefer. Otherwise, to be honest, I just, I don't know. I don't think I have like a favorite YouTuber, to be honest. Ooh, percentage of males and females subscribed. I'm not sure I can actually view that. I do know viewers, period, and it's 9% female, up from the original 6% not long ago. I'm not sure if I can... I don't think I can do subscribers, but I'm pretty sure it'll probably translate pretty nicely from views to subscribers. How does Sentdex make money? Contracting, consulting, AdSense on both YouTube ads and Python Programming.net ads, plus equals 1 subscriptions. Did I mention you could sponsor the YouTube channel? That sort of thing. Oh, and Super Chat. What do you think of the new Boston? I've used some of his videos before. I'm actually on his channel, to be honest. The problem I have with a lot of programming channels, so like my issue with the new Boston is that it's only the basics. Like obviously you have to pick up the basics, but you've got to like go a little further than that. If like you're ever going to actually learn how to be a programmer, you've got to apply it to like something a little more complicated than just basics. So that's the only problem I have with like channels like the new Boston. But if you're taking the basics and then you're going and doing something with it, that's basically the same thing. Like some people can just learn the basics and move on. So I don't trade derivatives, no. Let me see if I can pull up subscriber stats. I don't think I can actually tell you guys any exact figures from my stats. Yeah, I'd like to do more of this. The problem is like when we have like these huge things, I think somebody submitted like a few of the things. Why isn't the channel verification makes no sense to me. I got verified like really early on, years ago, and then it just went away. I don't know why I like lost it. Like nothing happened to my channel. I've never had any like copyright issues. No clue why it went away. That whole verification thing is just weird. It's just all automated. Are you good at math? No, absolutely not. Get Sentdex verified. How many words per minute can you write on the keyboard? I don't know. Not sure, man. Best Python book. Come on, man. We just answered that. You're going to make us wind up needing like a gigantic frequently asked questions. Are you able to block Udemy ads? I think so. I think you can go into like AdSense or something like that and you can block it. No, I'm not in any YouTube network. How's your wife? Do you have a wife? She's good. She just graduated. She's now a physician, about to start residency. Please come up with deep learning. Next week, we'll be doing TensorFlow.js. I feel like the question about the network just got answered. Do you think the issue? I mean, it should. I mean, like in my head, yeah, a recurrent neural network should work better. But when we actually went to go and apply one, it didn't work any better, and all it did was suck up more memory. Please don't make a FAQ. Yeah. I was saying there are way too many interests and time is less. I mean, you just got to pick one and go. I have the same problem. I mean, it's just really hard to figure out like what should you focus on, or you just got to kind of forget about the other things and just focus on one thing. If you're trying to do way too many things, you're probably not going to get anything done. What will be the next series? TensorFlow.js. Contracting, consulting. I mean, honestly, anything. Lately, it's been a lot more of like finance stuff, but I also do a lot of web development, contracting, consulting. I'm trying to think in the order of clients. So like finance. Before that was like deep learning with it was like a biotech company. And then before that was like a web development task. I don't know. I've got to move in there. It's been too long. Have any pets? I got 2 dogs. Why TensorFlow JS? So people don't have to install packages. They can run it on any device. And you pretty much can use Python. I mean, like you can use Python with Keras, save the model, and then you open, you can just load up the model. That's why TensorFlow JS. Like you can use Python to train the model, and then you just use JavaScript just to do like transfer learning, or you don't even need to do that. You could just, sorry, I'm reading this chat. And then you could just load the model. You don't have to actually train it any further. Nope, never played Fortnite. Have streamed in Twitch. Here's what I want. I want shorter questions on hackerrank. That's what we need. Unless, I don't know if everybody follows like this exact same structure here. And this one we've already done. I think I hit the back arrow. No, TensorFlow.js doesn't support CUDA, but it can run on the GPU. It's WebGL. We'll talk more about it next week when I start going over the TensorFlow.js, but it's like basically everything's like 5 times slower. Well, if I can't, yeah, it's a quit doing hackerrank. Well, I didn't mind it when the questions were shorter, but these are just like, this is like way too long of a question. I can't get through that. I already have a TensorFlow tutorial. Where does a beginner start? The beginner tutorials. And then whenever you're tired of beginner tutorials, go to something more interesting. I use quite a few GPUs, but mainly a 1080 Ti. So at least with tf.js, like there's so many things, like even though it would be, I feel like I have like a hair on my nose. The issue, or the reason why tf.js is so impactful is you can, at least with like inference, so just calling something to run, like it's a fifth, or it takes 5 times as long, but it can still be done in milliseconds. So the ability to do that like on anybody's device is pretty impressive. The fact that you could do distributed types of training using like everyone else's devices is pretty incredible. Yeah, there's just so much that we can do with TensorFlow.js because there's no hurdles for anybody to get over. So anybody can just use your web app. They don't need to install anything. That's super powerful. Yeah, we fried it. I've definitely, at least one GPU is totally fried. Another one just crashes fairly frequently. It's probably Dunions as well. OpenAI with TensorFlow.js. TensorFlow without machine learning? I could see TensorFlow without deep learning. But we need to learn JS. No, you just need to learn how to copy and paste JavaScript from Stack Overflow. Would you consider a series on finance? I don't know. Dude, my nose is super freaking itchy. Is that just like super delayed? I don't see any super chat. Did I miss it? For some reason, I don't see that super chat in the chat. I just saw it on the stream. Is it better to always use Keras on top of TensorFlow? Oh, there it goes. Wow, that was like super delayed. Why was that so delayed? Not always. I mean, any sort of word like always, we could say no. But it's just going to go a lot quicker. So as long as Keras, the API, has what you're trying to do in TensorFlow, it probably is better. So you're not going to make any mistakes. Like when you're writing like raw TensorFlow, it's super easy to make a stupid mistake, and like it's super hard to debug those stupid mistakes. It's just copy and paste. But don't forget to store a Stack Overflow after you make your copy and paste. Pair programming with Stack Overflow? Absolutely. T-Kinter versus Pygame, apples versus oranges. How far off do you think we are from creating general intelligence? I could not answer that. Any day now. And that could be 100 years away. Any collab videos with ML experts? Not planned. I don't think any ML experts want anything to do with doing a collab with me. How about a tutorial on ML in Unity? Probably not. Why can't fruit be compared? Okay, well, it can be compared. So like with an apple, you can just bite right into it, whereas with like an orange, you don't want to bite right into it. You kind of want to peel it first. And then like with an apple, there's not like that little, the pulpy skin stuff. There. I try to convert. I probably wouldn't convert the TensorFlow to. I mean, I guess you could, especially if it's the raw TensorFlow. So TensorFlow.js has like the core and the layers. And so if you just did the core, you could translate just about everything perfectly. Thoughts on Elon Musk? I feel like Elon Musk could just as easy, like people study Elon Musk for his like business expertise, but Elon Musk could just as easily be like studied for his failures, right? Elon Musk got super lucky a handful of times. He takes on so much risk that I think he's crazy in that sense, but that's about all I have to say about that. I don't think I would take as much risk as he does. And I don't think I would invest in his companies because of it. What are your favorite courses to learn deep learning? I don't have any courses that I would say, except for, of course, my course. No, I don't think all successful, I think that's like I can't think of the word, but that's not really true, that like everybody that's successful takes like huge risks. I think Musk takes like way too huge of risks, like stupid risk. Have I met Elon? No, I have not. No, I have no interest in working for a company full time. I can't imagine what kind of job that would be. There's probably 2 dislikes because I said not 100% positive things about Elon Musk. Good for your back. I'm not sure what that's in response to. What happened to our Reddit pages, man? I have no books to suggest for TensorFlow. I would just either find like a tutorial that you're understanding, or you could just go to the TensorFlow docs or something like that. Like just use Google. I just wouldn't suggest getting some sort of book for any tech. But that's just me. I just don't learn from that. How do you choose a new concept to do? I just think of things that are interesting, and then I ask my sponsors. Did I mention you could sponsor? Dude, the Reddit. Oh, here's a Reddit. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, this crazy guy with his FTP client. What's the other one we have? GUI lib help. Should we go here and tell him to not do any GUI library? How to let a turtle jump. Oh, these are the greatest. I have 1 week to learn enough Python to be proficient. How do I do it? These are my favorite. How do you find yourself in a situation where you have 1 week to become proficient? How do you do that? Can you drop a link to the FTP thing? I think it was this one. Yeah. I think it only looks that good because it's on Linux. I don't think it'll look that good on Windows, Scott, but yeah, here it is. Raining computers. How deep are going to go? I have no intention of doing like a full Keras tutorial. I don't really see the point. Keras is just super simple. I mean, maybe you could get super complex, but even like yeah, you've got the sequential model, and then you've got like the just the model that you could actually mess with. But I don't know. I'm just not sure there's any necessity for. I think if I do train another model, like if we come up with another task, I'll end up using Keras for that. But I don't think I'm ever going to have like a straight Keras tutorial series. It's just super simple. I just don't know what would make it. Like once you understand like how to build a neural network, you should be able to understand Keras. Do you have like top 3 or 5 people that have made a big difference? No. Not that I can think of. I like people who are extremely like successful yet also still pretty humble. Like one person I always think of for that is like Armin van Buuren, like a freaking DJ, but he's like just completely down to earth and just a regular dude. It seems like I've never met him in person. I don't know anything what he's like in reality, but the way he seems, I respect that because that guy could be just like totally crazy, drugged out, doing whatever. But he seems like just like a regular dude. Like I feel like if you met him and you didn't know he was a DJ, you wouldn't guess he was a DJ. Which do you like more? I have never used PyTorch for anything, so I couldn't answer that. Or I could, and I guess I would have to say TensorFlow. What do you guys think of this new Reddit? Kind of annoys me. Agreed. Yeah, he's pretty cool too. No, the Bitcoin trading strategy is like super simple. It's just a grid trading, market making, liquidity creating strategy. That's about it. How long to become an intermediate? I'm not really sure, man. A few years. It really just depends, especially like if you're a programmer already, like no time at all. New Reddit dislike, save this video. Yeah, the video will be posted, so you can go back and listen to this massive turned into Q&A session. Get over there. Whoa. What do you mean 100K? Is that like a 100K sample? Like, what is this? What is yeah, good bot. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. BDD 100K. Whoa. Oh, nice. So it's like in sequence. 120 million. Whoa. How advanced in Python do you consider yourself? Barely intermediate. How much you make a year? 6 figures. New Red is terrible. I don't know why I just don't know why they changed it. I actually kind of liked the simplicity of the old Reddit. Favorite TV shows. Dude, I don't think I have a favorite. I just finished watching Sopranos. Super old. I'd never seen it. Just finished it. That was pretty good. I like shows that end that way. Or a movie that ends that way. Nice realistic ending. Not, neatly wrapped up. I like that. Do you go outside the house? Yeah, like, once a year. Chat hasn't had an in-depth... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, talk with Daniel. Honestly, I don't know how someone becomes like an expert Python programmer. I'm not really sure, like, where do you draw that line? Like, what would you need to know to be an expert? Everybody wastes time. So, yeah, I waste time for sure. Never tried Laravel. That's a PHP framework, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure why I would try that. Yeah, no. Negative. Sports, racing. Yeah, I think so. Wilfred, we were, and then HackerRank decided that they were gonna, give us books of challenges, and that becomes somewhat difficult to do. Writing clean code. I don't think writing clean code is expert level. Clean code using Python. I just don't know how that makes someone an expert. Like conferences, like 2-3 a year max. You can spend a lot of time at conferences and like leading up to conferences and after conferences, and spend a lot of money going to conferences. It can be kind of a waste. Bike racing or like car racing. I used to track motorcycles. I don't really get into watching motorcycle racing too much, but car racing is a pretty cool sport to me. Like F1, that sort of thing, like road courses. The combat looks pretty sweet. What combat? Could this chat be exported? I'm pretty sure there's like a YouTube API that you could export it on. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone trying to pull up another website besides HackerRank. Project. Well, at least to begin, we're gonna probably on the first day I'm gonna try to at least get through the basics and get us to the point of actually like training a model in TensorFlow.js. Then the next day, get the web app kind of built around it, just because most people on my channel probably aren't JavaScript folk. And then after that, the goal is here. I've been working on this. This one's not done yet, but the bottom paddle is me and the top paddle is the actual AI. And so we're just trying to get that to the point of basically learning from playing the player. So I thought that would be kind of cool to like have you train the actual enemy or the whatever you want to call it, competitor. Dude, I can't even keep up with this. It's actually already beating me, and this is actually a pretty bad AI at the moment. But anyway, yeah, this is just like a super simple, I think this is a 2-layer 64 node. Let's see, where are we? Well, this isn't it. So this was like a different, this code has been totally hacked together, but I promise this is not the model. This is if there is no model, and I want to say the model's just 2 layers of 64 nodes. Do I use the drones as fans? No, you don't want to turn them on. Cool projects you want to do with the Raspberry. So probably the next major project I'd want to do with the Raspberry Pi is like a growing project. And before jokes, like growing things that I can't grow where I live. Some sort of food would be ideal. But I wanted to use that to do, because you could use that to monitor like humidity and then change the humidity and like pH and temperature, all that stuff. You could just automate that entire process. And I think that's kind of cool. You just did that. Pics and or video, or it didn't happen. Projects you've worked on using pythonprogramming.net and all the projects that are there. Grow raspberries. You must have heard me before because I do want to grow raspberries. Yeah, for some reason I've always failed at growing raspberries. That's like my favorite fruit. So I'd probably try to grow raspberries. I don't know that I've said that. I'm not sure if I've said that. I can't remember. Wow. Let's see. What would you tell an ML beginner? Don't skip over topics. I think that's probably the easiest thing to do as you're like learning something complex like that. Is to just like, if you're not understanding something, just like glaze over it and skip it. I think that's probably the biggest thing. You just don't want to do that. I'm trying to start up this Code Wars, and it's just not going to happen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can fly the drones, no problem, like with video and stuff like that. And my yard's actually big enough to do it. How would you go about making a chess AI? A lot of those things you just start with like a rule-based, and then you use the rule-based data to train the AI model. And then once you have like a decent AI model, you start taking like random actions, and then successful random actions. Nobody wants code. What's wrong with Code Wars? Why? Failed to save the settings. I don't know why I can't do that. How many iterations to train the... That's like a totally vague question. MIT food computer. I think theirs is I forget how that food computer... I know what you're talking about. I want to say it was like 2,000. It was like so much money for the food computer though. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. This one says it's 300. The question though, so the issue with like stuff like this, like these little computers, you can easily grow like greenery stuff. Like you can grow, like mixed greens. You can definitely grow that kind of stuff, but you can't really grow, like something like raspberries has to be pollinated, and there's really no, like how are you going to pollinate those things? And so that's why I was thinking of using the arm to do that. That like robotic arm. Code Wars required. So you think it's because of the cookies that I can't use Code Wars? Is that true? I don't believe in cookies, so that's going to be a problem. Even if you're in incognito, that should still work. Don't you get a strain on your eyes? No. Have you ever been to Russia? Code Wars is pretty fun. Is it short challenges? Now I'm trying to load Code Wars and it's like going super slow. I like can't get it to load. Why are you using incognito? So the man can't track me. Obviously. He's got robot eyes. What did I do before I was 21? I paid a developer to like develop things for me. I don't know. Like Code Wars is going unbelievably slow. Like I'm trying to load it outside of incognito, but it doesn't seem to happen. Bucky Roberts' son. Pretty sure it's Bucky Roberts, but no, I don't know a Bucky Roberts' son. How do you feel about oranges? I really like oranges. I now live in Alabama. I just don't like Code Wars mentality. The best answer is the ugliest one-liner. Is that true? Do they incentivize like the crazy one-liner stuff? Well, to be honest, I cannot sign into Code Wars right now. I don't know what the deal is. It's just like stuck. I was at PyCon last year. I didn't go this year because I was moving. Do you do for living other things, not just... You mean what do I do? I'm not really sure what you're asking there. Yes, I'm married. Have you visited outside America? It's an interesting way to put it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of let's see. I just took a vacation to Grand Cayman, and then before that, I'm trying to think if I've been anywhere else besides Italy. I went to Italy for my honeymoon, and then out of the country. I think that's it. What were you gonna do, dude? I don't know. Who knows? If I hadn't started programming Python, I just always liked making businesses, and it just like I just was paying people to do the development, and then I just decided I needed to do it myself because at least the developer I had at the time couldn't do natural language processing and just didn't have any interest in learning it. I don't think Alabama's a fan of cannabis. How can someone... You can go to pythonprogramming.net and then go down to the very, very bottom. Hire me. pythonprogramming.net/consulting. Do you lose motivation while working? Absolutely, all the time. And usually that's when you need to stop working. Will you ever do paid mentoring? I mean, that's basically consulting, and I already do that. Good night, Alterrect. Thanks again for the sponsor. How did you meet your wife? So my wife and I actually met in junior high school, and then we didn't. It was kind of like one of those things where one of us was always in a relationship, and then basically after high school, we started dating again. So apparently this food computer is only $300 to make. I guess it looks pretty basic. It's like PVC, some insulation stuff, some lights, a fan. To be honest, I'm not sure how that's $300. Have you read the book just for fun? No, can't say I have. Can't say I have. This is kind of interesting. This video database. So it's got 100,000 sequences. And it looks like it's already segmented for you. Then you'd have to do the segmentation, I guess. That's pretty cool. I'm going to store that over here. Save that for myself. This is crazy. Hold on. Wait. So it's already got the lane stuff for you. Everything's been segmented for you. It's annotated for you. This is pretty crazy. So many open tabs. And this is just one of the windows. Best ways to practice Python, work on projects that interest you. Same thing with how to become great at machine learning. Work on machine learning projects that interest you. Switch back to the old Reddit. I am actually in my usual browser. I am on old Reddit. Oh, I think I lost. Oh, here we go. Visit old Reddit. So much better. Man, I don't like the way that they've done these promoted. That fits too seamlessly into Reddit now. I feel like it wasn't like before. It was just like that top post usually, and it was a different color. Now it legit like looks like a post, and that's really annoying. Why aren't you teaching anything today? Too many questions. Next week we'll do TensorFlow.js, and that'll just be like a live tutorial basically. And I guess I just won't look at chat. Or maybe just answer tf.js questions only. leaked emails. What did y'all think about Project Maven? I never really read much into what exactly they were doing. I just knew it was stuff with drone AI and stuff. Why do so many people ask me where Bucky is? He is a CTO at a venture capital firm now. Why did you start with NLP to learn Python? Because I wanted to use natural language processing to calculate sentiment for companies that were publicly traded. Thoughts on JavaScript? It's amazing. Someone started new on ML. If you're like a JavaScript developer, I guess you could use TensorFlow.js, but really like TensorFlow.js to me is just a way to extend my models that I've built and trained in Python first. Like I don't intend to really, like TF.js is not going to be quick to train anything. It just gives you options that you just didn't have before. Unless you did like distributed training. Like I think TF.js has something is interesting there for doing like distributed model training, and then somehow, I'm not sure exactly how you would do it, but there's definitely a way to do it with TF.js. Like what would be the most efficient way of doing that? Like who gets the lowest loss or the highest accuracy or some combination of those, share it to the rest of the network, continue on. That'd be interesting. JavaScript versus Python. Obviously Python. You can just do more with Python. Why not use TensorFlow Python in the back end? Because then you have to you would have to do the processing power. So you would have to load. You'd have to use that model, run that model. Your user of that model would have to have internet access. Again, TensorFlow.js is definitely like you're going to probably use Python TensorFlow to train your TF.js model, at least initially, and then you're going to use like transfer learning in the TensorFlow.js, or you're just going to load the model and run it. Why did you spend 3.812 seconds reading this message? I didn't. Python versus PHP. I'm not even sure what PHP is. I don't think I've ever heard of that. So, it sounds like is that some sort of like a disease or? Same questions repeating over and over. Definitely. Don't read the chat. Okay, let's see if I can get into Code Wars. Python plays Rocket League. Probably not. Probably not. Dude, Code Wars is still going unbelievably slow for me. I don't think I'm going to be able to do Code Wars. I'm trying to sign up for Project Euler and I just cannot. I'm trying to sign up. Do I have to actually register for Project Euler to use it? Why don't you earn money from Quantopian? Well, I do actually earn money from Quantopian. Your account has been successfully created. Let's try. Yeah, I coded my site by myself. I want to download this chat and train a model just to answer all the questions. The conference. Oh my gosh. It was definitely correct. There we go. Top 3 countries. I think it's United States. I don't know. I'd have to look. I think U.S. is number 1, and then India is either 2 or 3. Thank you for the super chat, Daniel. How to really upset a web developer. Ask them if they use Wix. Wix reached out and wanted me to do a sponsored series on Wix with incorporating JavaScript. Recommend Skillshare. I don't know anything about Skillshare. Hey back, Umar. I almost did go to visit India, actually. There was like a conference there. I can't remember what the name of it was. The problem with that is like the travel time, the money, just the cost of just going there is just crazy. And conferences do not want to pay you. They just want you to go for free. Have been coding in Python for years, but switched to R. What's your opinion on that? How do you ban somebody from the chat? Let's see. Like I'm clicking the button, and like the 3 button. Can I do like /ban? We just need to get this guy out of the chat. What phone do you use now? My phone is actually dying. It won't hold a charge. I kind of need a new phone. I've been looking at getting a new phone. Thoughts on paid courses? I mean, some people feel the need to have to pay for something, so they actually like finish the course. And then also, if you buy a paid course, I think most people kind of feel like they'll get something quality in return. So it just kind of gives them security, I guess, in that. So, I mean, if people want to do paid courses, that's fine. I've just never done it. I don't actually, like, I think at any time I could do paid courses and like cash out pretty well at that point. But I think over the long term, if you do free courses, the rate at which your multiple of 3 and 5, it does. The rate at which you'll grow with free courses over time, I think. Like if I had, let's say like 2 years ago, I started doing only paid courses. I think I would probably make similar to what I make right now. And what's the point? If you do free courses, not only are you going to probably make the same amount of money over a long period of time, it's better for everybody else involved. I want to do Kaggle, but many challenges require heavy ML processing because I have a pretty basic laptop. I want to use cloud. What platform do you recommend? Thank you for the super chat, Sergey. Paperspace. If you search for Paperspace on my channel, you'll see them. It's like it's just you rent it by the hour. If you turn off the machine, you're not billed, but all your data is still there. You're billed like a flat fee per month for the hard drive storage space, which is it's like super cheap. So it's just you're billed prorated hourly for whatever machine you want. So that's what I would recommend. And you have a huge choice. Like I haven't actually been. I don't know if AWS has better GPU servers or if they're still on the stupid K80s, which are really just K40s glued together, and what you're actually buying is a K40 because they're always selling half K80s. So like Paperspace, you can actually get like a current GPU. Like you can get the Titan V, or you can have, at least later technology than the K80 GPUs, because it's not actually all about VRAM. So yeah, Paperspace would get my recommendation still. And the support at Paperspace is like super good. Paperspace is kind of like reminds me of what DigitalOcean was for a while, where they were just a good service. Do you spy data on content? I don't. Probably not. Unless you mean the SPY, the S&P 500 ETF. What is your rank on HackerRank? You saw it, man. I think we did like one challenge. Wait, is Project Euler... Where are the... Do we not have... Is this all just pure math questions? Dude, I can't answer these questions. I require Python only. Do you watch soccer? No. No series on AWS. iPhone or Android? Android. Why you never use PyCharm? I don't use PyCharm. I just don't like Sublime Text is pretty nice. I've gotten used to just mostly using Sublime. Any Hadoop? No. How much math is a must? Not much. Like just general understanding of linear algebra and multiplying arrays. That's about it. Like unless you want to know how to optimize yourself like by hand, but I wouldn't recommend it. Why not a series on AWS? Dude, AWS just makes me angry. Like every time I log into their little platform, it's just frustrating. I don't know what my deal is with AWS. It just pisses me off every time I have to use AWS. It's like so not user friendly. I don't know. I just can't get it. How many hours did you spend to be? I don't think I'm an expert in Python, so still going. Any course on cryptocurrency? Just one on the Bitcoin paper. That was it. Opinion on Atom? It's okay. I've used it. Like Atom is the default editor on Paperspace, and so I just keep using that one. I think if you just use a simple editor, you can use any editor. But if you get used to some fancy editor and then you go to use some other editor, you're going to have a problem. Will you force your children to learn Python? Yeah. I won't be mad if they aren't programmers, just disappointed. How did you learn to type so fast? I don't really think I'm that fast of a typer, but just typing. Or playing video games, I guess. Like typing on video games probably is where I really learned. Awkward workspace. What? IDE or text. IDE is a text editor. Where can we go after the ML series? Wherever you want. Go anywhere. The world is yours. Spider IDE. No. I've used it before, but no. Like I don't actively use it. I'm too far out of the crypto space. I think most potential is a hard one. Most likely to be successful is just straight Bitcoin, just because it's first to market. It has such a huge moat around it. But like that's all I have on my money in is I think it's just Bitcoin, and then I might have some Ethereum, but not much. Do you use Paperspace or your own laptop? Well, I would never do ML on a laptop, but I'll use my main computer if I can, but a lot of times I'm training like multiple models at the same time, so I'll use Paperspace to train other models. Theanos. Do you mean Thanos? Or I've used Keras, and if I do like a tutorial in the future that a model needs to be trained, it will be using Keras. You'll probably see me use Keras actually when I start covering TensorFlow.js, because Keras can just easily output the model that can be imported right away into TensorFlow.js. You have any dreams? I feel like I've done that. I feel like that's what I've done already. I've sent you a friend. Yeah, you and like a lot of other people. I pretty much stopped accepting friend requests. What websites do you recommend to learn Python? Pythonprogramming.net. What does my wife do? She's a doctor. Thoughts on Jupyter notebooks? I've kind of grown to enjoy the Jupyter notebooks. As long as what you're doing is like in like an order, it's like kind of a data science type question. But like if you're doing something that's like object oriented, you're like trying to build a program, I don't know why people are like why you would want to use Jupyter notebook. I never had a 40-inch monitor, but I do still have my 4K monitor that's like, I think it's 28 or something. I'm not really sure what its dimensions are. I don't remember. I think it's a 28. Yeah, it's a 28. I love it in a monitor. I think 4K like television is kind of pointless at the distance that you're sitting from it, but for a monitor, it's super nice to have. Do you have any plans to do a tutorial on different things? You mean different than ML or what? Man, so many questions on PyTorch, guys. Come on. Never used PyTorch. Don't know. Heard good things. Clearly, we're going to need a PyTorch frequently asked question. Your wife is a doctor. Talk about wife goals. 10 out of 10. Would marry again. Do a series on blockchain? No. If you could, would you have a 40-inch monitor? No. Just multiple monitors. Like, once you hit a certain resolution, like, everything's the same size, so you're not actually getting any more space. So I'm not really sure why. No, I'm just not a big fan of huge monitors. Will you force your dog to learn programming when he grows up? Nah. Did somebody ask what my father... They did. You can just Google what Edward Snowden's dad does. It's not that hard. Did I read your question and not answer it, Wilfred? I get sidetracked. There's so many questions in here, man. Dude, I'd love to program in VR. The problem is I just can't. Like I don't even know where to begin programming for VR. The best and easy way to deploy Django, go to DigitalOcean. I'm pretty sure they've got like pre-made Django distribution, or not a distribution, but like a snapshot basically that you load from. I think that's how I would do it. Notice how there's no PHP here? But maybe I sit further away. I would rather have two like 26-inch screens than one 40-inch screen. Which university would you recommend for a master's in data science? I couldn't tell you. Why does everyone call you Edward Snowden? I don't know, man. My name is Jesse Pinkman. Do you think Earth will be demolished by Python? That's a possibility, man. That could definitely be the case. Thank you for the 99 cents, William That's a lot of tabs open. Docker tutorial. I just don't use Docker. No hacker rank anymore. The problem is they're a super long question, and nobody submitted an answer unless I missed it. Okay, we could. Here's what we can do. This better work. There we go. Somebody can help submit an answer on this one. Print the integer sum of the element. Why would it say? So just anything you pass in there. Do you feel the earth is flat? I mean, it's flat underneath my feet right now. I'm torn between following data science or software developing. I'm not sure what you mean by software development then. Currently, there's like literally one computer running in my room. I have 2 more, but they're not running. That's a lot of spam. RAM. Scott, is that your submission? Why did that get? Oh, you got that sum map int array. Is it asking it to be printed? How tall are you? I'm a 4'6". We did it. Print it. No, I don't think print was going to work. We had to edit it to be return. So I'm going to take credit for that answer because I had to modify it. Sorry, Scott. What would you recommend to get past the program? I've never heard anybody mention a programming plateau. FYI, Linus Tech Tips says subs don't matter for views. I'm not sure if subs ever really mattered that much. Subs seem to be relatively meaningless. This is so confusing. It says it was accepted. Why is this not filled in? And why are we still on this page? Are you really 4.6? I mean, like 4.5.5, but can I round up, or is that not allowed? Will you ever reveal your true height? No, probably not. Hit submit. I did hit submit, man. Oh, I thought I hit it. Wow, this sounds extremely unenjoyable. Hobbit. In the case of data science, masters in math, other routes, which is best? I don't know, man. You're asking somebody who like didn't get a degree in any way related to CS at all. I think there's like a million ways to get there, so... What do you think about... I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on competitive programming. Talk about GANs, please. Why would you want me to talk about GANs so bad? What internet speeds do you have? Sounds like maybe you should talk about GANs, dude. Scott, you got a channel? Any more Q&A? I feel like this is one massive Q&A video. Favorite game on PC? That's a hard one, dude. I don't know. Either there's I'm trying to think, Project Cars 2 I've played a good amount on, and then probably a game called Onward, but it's for VR. Favorite food? I'm pretty sure favorite food's like a popular password question, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that answer. Or should I lie? Spaghetti. Mom's spaghetti, actually. No, I've never played League of Legends, so I can't really answer that. Oregon Trail. Oh, man. Yeah, that was fun. I said show. I'm definitely... Why won't it let me show that? For some reason, I can't accept that message, no matter how hard I try. Favorite neural net architecture? I feel like this isn't a one-liner, and it really should be just a crazy long one-liner. Wow, now I just have crazy amounts of spam. Your hair needs a haircut. Does it? Is it super long? Most powerful PC you've ever assembled? Probably the self-driving car PC. Will you keep programming in a nursing home? If I could. Want to move out of house, financially dependent on parents. Any suggestions? There's always a way if you really wanted to move out. You can always join the military. That'll get you on your own. Or just start applying for jobs, man. Did I miss something in this code? I don't think either of those worked, just in case. I'm not sure if I messed this one up. I could have messed up your tabbing here, possibly. DJI Phantoms? No. Do you live with your parents? Who doesn't? Chat, you need to slow down. I'm trying to copy and paste this message. Nope. Alright, Scott. We'll try Scott to see if that one's any better. Scott the Master? Are you preparing code interview? I hope not. I'm not getting any of these right. I think Scott's ready for a coding interview. Does your wife? Hey, we got a star. Have you seen Altered Carbon? Yeah, my wife and I watched that series. Or actually, I think it's like one season. But yeah, I watched it. That took a while to get into. It was like super. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on what's weird about that show, but yeah, it was hard to get into it. But after like, I don't know, 5 episodes, it was okay. Scott's ready to take on the world. Scott's one of the AIs, actually, that we wrote. That's my star. Yeah, it's just like a hard show to get into. Why are you so crazy about GANs, man? Most complex program? Probably the self-driving car. I don't know. Or Python programming.net. I guess you'd have to define complex, but probably that. Probably would be Python programming.net desperately needing a refactor. But yeah, one of those two maybe. Cancer overrated. So is this our next challenge here? I don't remember clicking on the next challenge. Let me know when to scroll, Scott. Or is this your solution? I don't even know, DRD, if this is your solution now or if this is the previous. Can you do a backflip? Pretty salty over a backflip, to be honest. I could never get over the mental aspect. Like, I can do a backflip if someone's there spotting me. Like, just the knowledge that they're there to spot me. But not on my own. I just can't do it. I just can't commit. Do you go to gym? So my wife and I actually just built a gym. We have like a couple of buildings in the back. So one's like a detached garage, and then the other one, I don't know what it was used for. If it was like an old workshop before they built the detached garage or what. And then we just converted that to a gym. For the record, I've published a paper on GANs. Can you do a handstand push-up? No. I'm close to doing a one-armed pull-up. That's what I'd like to be able to do that. It's taking a while, though. Where do you live? Alabama. Which car? I actually have three vehicles. I don't think you finished your input there. Did you make those drones? Sure did. Personality type. I think it's on my Twitter. You have to pull it up. INTJ, I think. I approved your code that you sent, but I don't know why it just doesn't want to show for me. I don't know. I can't do any I can't click on people's usernames and stuff in the live chat. I'm not really sure what's wrong with it. But I did approve yours, but it also wasn't like the full code. Oh yeah, we were going to look at the user bases by country. I guess maybe it's because I'm live streaming or something, but stuff is like moving super slow. Do you even lift? No, I mean, like, I have a gym and I go to the gym. I'm pretty sure that's all you really have to do. I'm not sure why anybody would lift stuff. That's tiring. I don't want to do that. Big tech companies? I don't think so. No, I'm in Tuscaloosa, Alabama now. It's like a good college football town, but I don't know any any big tech companies here. DFW is good, though. There's a lot of tech companies in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're planning to go back there after the residency, but we'll see. So, angry people in the chat, man. So they've changed all the analytics in YouTube. Like, you used to be able to view it by country. Now it's like all just like bar charts, basically. Let me see if I can go into the Classic Studio. I'm 42 years old. Is Python venomous? I think so. Scott, somebody, I think it was, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this right, but Nikitan, or however to say it, they were trying to submit something, but every time I would hit allow, it just like wasn't coming through. That came through. But that's still not complete code. You can't quite end on that. No way, you're 42, come on. You don't want to have kids? I don't think I answered that question. I'll probably have kids. Well, I won't. That'd be a problem. Let's see if I can find our audience. Demographics. "42 years old and 4'6", living in Tuscaloosa." Yeah, there's only one true statement there. I think you'd be great. Can you do a course on hacking? No, I definitely can't do that. I believe you that I look 24. I feel like I probably look more like 21, 22. So I'm trying to find... I feel like demographics should be fine, but maybe I feel like playback location is probably like a device or something. Anybody have any idea in this YouTube analytics how to pull up country? I would expect it to be in like demographics, age, gender. Here we go, geography. Wow, that was too difficult. You look like 19. I don't know, I feel like I look 17. Yeah, number 1, 22% is United States. Number 2 is India, 18%. And then after that, just a massive drop off to the UK at 4.7%. And then it goes from there. Do you know this error? Unable to find? Yeah, I know that error. Yeah. Just go to unofficial Python binaries. At 4.7, represent. Actually, in Germany is tied at 4.7. So UK, then Germany. Canada 3.1. Australia 2.2. Yeah, India. I wonder. I always wonder if other tech channels are also like India number 2 or number 1. And I know like where you post from has a huge impact. So like since I'm in the United States, a lot of like what I get suggested to is people in the United States. Any videos in YouTube demonetized? Yeah, there was at least a period where like everything I submitted was getting demonetized. Now I just upload to unlisted, and then if it gets demonetized, I just dispute it, and then I post it once that dispute is over. But yeah, they were demonetizing just anything, and it was really weird. I don't really know why that was happening, but you know, just bad algorithm. Happy to share the Python tutorials. Scott, where's the answer here? How much of your time do you spend coding in which language? Lately, I've been like just copying and pasting random stuff from Stack Overflow with JavaScript just to make stuff with tf.js. Have you ever tried stand-up comedy? No, I don't think I'm that funny. I laugh at myself. Let's see. Plus minus array. Actually, I haven't even read. Show us. I don't have a girlfriend, so that would be a problem if I did, though. I am Edward Snowden. Look at I'm incognito. That's how it's done, at least with JavaScript. Definitely got to do a lot of copying and pasting. That's right, Scott. Is YouTube? No. Like the whole like tutorials and stuff accounts for about half of my income, but a lot of that still comes from like pythonprogramming.net, either ads on there or plus equals 1. Do you feel question offensive? No, I haven't seen any offensive questions yet. I've seen some like trolling questions. JavaScript versus Django. What's with these apples and oranges again? Yes. Yeah, JavaScript and Sentdex. So Snow is actually my middle name. So Sentdex is still me. When do you, or when did I? I'm going to assume you mean like when did I? So I was working as a waiter in college, like part-time. I worked like 3 to 6 hours a week or something. And then that place went out of business. And then from that point forward, I just stopped applying for any jobs and just kept working for myself. I answered your question. If you're not going to stop, we can help stop you. I told you what to do. Just go to the unofficial Windows binaries and install that way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the pip tutorial. 3 to 6 hours. Yeah. Well, so I was working already at that point, though. Like I was already working for myself, running my own business. Like I just kept the part-time job for insurance purposes, basically, just for security. And then when they went out of business, I was like, well, I'm not going to go apply again. So that's why. Went out of business because of bad service. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Was you working for Google? No. No GANs. Scott, when are you going to submit the answer? I'm just kidding. Don't get angry. I've been meaning to read this one. I didn't even read the question. Let's see if this actually works. And then no. Okay. So I don't have to waste my time reading the question. Scott, you got to fix the code. Now you know exactly what it's like when Daniel works with me, Scott. Have you watched? I've seen like a few things from Silicon Valley, but I have not watched that show. Like, I don't know. I've never watched like a full even episode of that show. Who's your favorite YouTuber? Sentdex. Did you start smoothly your business, or was it a pain in the neck? I don't think anybody starts a business smoothly. It's always a pain. And there are definitely times where I had like maybe 2 weeks of money left, and then I was going to definitely be broke. But even then I always knew like, well, if you could always just go get a part-time job again. So even if you went broke running your own business, okay, like go work for Walmart or something while you stack up some more cash and try again. Will you ever do pair programming? Maybe with Daniel or Scott. I'm basically doing pair programming with Scott. That's what's happening. Why are you in incognito? Hide from the man, as I've said. Which person do you ever get admired? I'm not sure what you're asking, man. or a waiting table. Waiting tables is actually pretty good money. I mean, if you're a decent waiter at a decent restaurant, you can make good money. Like, it's probably one of the best no skill types of jobs you can get. So like when you're in college or in high school or something, waiting tables that's good. Plus all the benefits of cash business. Do you watch PewDiePie? I'm afraid to answer that question. Have you ever been told that you look like Jesse Pinkman? Once, maybe twice. Just got here. What you up to with HackerRank? I'm using Scott to get up my rank, but I don't see any latest solution from Scott. HackerRank competition. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'll do HackerRank again. I don't like these kinds of like challenges. Makes me like want to make my own little challenge site. Have a little patience with. I don't have any patience. Again, just ask Daniel what it's like. Were you successful as a YouTuber from the beginning? No. YouTube is just like one of those things you just slowly start building. As long as you keep working at it, you'll be fine. I really wanted to shout your name, but I'm not alone in the house right now, so I'm not going to do that. Again, I don't think I can actually show you guys my analytics, but YouTube's just like steady growth. You could probably go to, what's that? Social Blade, and you can see. Although Social Blade doesn't go back very far, I don't think. I don't know if I can easily take a screenshot of that one. What's your life goal? Develop AI. It takes over. Get more views than Oracle. Oh man, I just made a mistake. Let's see here. Let's do rolling. This is like Gan love, man. I cannot believe how obsessive. So I tried to use Code Wars. Could not log into Code Wars for some reason. I can try again. It was just lagging. Like it would just load and then fail eventually. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming or what. I just don't know what's doing. Will you close the channel for a job? No. Google actually hasn't approached me for a job. I did get the little Google thing. I forget what that challenge is called, but it's like an in-browser. And I couldn't even do it, man. I think I got through like level 7 or something like that. And then I started spending like 6 hours on one of their little challenges. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I couldn't do it. Trying to find, there we go. I just can't imagine a job that I would work at Google, you know, like something that would be just as rewarding, still give me freedom, or pay better. Like none of those jobs that I've been offered yet even beat one of those things. Let's see if I can get Code Wars working now. Maybe it'll work. Maybe not. I don't know. World of Tanks. I'm like unbelievably lost already. That's PHP. This looks even more complex than hackerrank. And Scott, where's the solution? Did I miss it? I don't think so. I think we'll have to... I think in the future we're going to have to try maybe Kaggle. Maybe try to solve some Kaggle stuff. But still next week it's going to be TensorFlow.js. And less questions, hopefully. Why not a tutorial? No. Not maybe sometime in the future. C++, but probably not. Probably not. I don't even know it's running right now on Kaggle. Yeah, Scott, where is the solution? Oh my god. Ooh, another YouTube video challenge. 25,000. I cannot. This always bothers me. It's people solving these problems for 25,000. This is like $1 million problem for Google or more, like multi-million-dollar problem, and you'll get $25,000 for it. And you won't even. I bet that's probably not first prize. It's probably like 10 or 15, 5 and something or something like that. Let's see. Oh, it's just 5,000 per team. Ooh. As a travel award. Oh, but you got to attend the conference. You also get an interview. Yeah, but man, what a good gig if they could get a solution to that kind of a problem for. I remember I saw one it was like for detecting malware, and I think it was for Microsoft, and it was like 20,000 or 25. Jeez, if you can do that, start your own business. Don't share it with them, and then sell your business for millions to them. There's just a better way. And you can get acqui-hired, and you'll still work for Google at the end. Have you ever thought about so after TensorFlow? So next week we're going to do TensorFlow.js, and then probably like next Saturday, Sunday will be TensorFlow.js live streams, and then that week I'll probably release the TF.js like video tutorials, and then after that we'll probably be getting into sound and speech generating AI. So a couple weeks. I'm not sure it's worth billions, but it's well, the malware detection, depending on how good you can do it, might be $1 billion business. The video understander, I'm not sure I'd say that's $1 billion business, but it's more than a $25,000 and a job at Google. They actually don't have too many up right now. My goodness, the best one's is 70,000. Need some $1 million ones. Cancer research. Is there a cancer? Did I miss it? You got particle tracking. I don't think there's a cancer research one up here right now. Yeah, maybe in the future we'll do a Kaggle live. The problem with hackerrank is like there's just Scott, for hackerrank problems, look in the discussion. I'm sure you could just Google them. That's probably what Scott's been doing this whole time, is just Googling the answers. Kaggle live. Maybe in a few weeks we'll do some Kaggle live. Gotta find a good competition. Some of these are just, there'd be too much sitting involved. Like we could do easily like digit recognizer or the Titanic one. That would be easy to do live. But some of these don't have an actual solution to them. Like, so you'd spend a lot of time just kind of sitting there thinking, and that's a pretty boring thing to stream. Ooh, Scott did send an answer. I'm not even sure if I'm on that tab anymore. Is it this one? Is it this one? Yeah, he got a wrong answer. Nope. Scott, did you even check? Gotta check your code. Stream eating food. I am getting pretty hungry, but I don't think I'm gonna stream that. My apologies. If you have a Pastebin link, just send the end of the link. If you get, I'll just copy and paste that for anybody who can't post the Pastebin. Print instead of return. No. I don't think you want to do print. Nuh-uh. I mean, maybe it does, because it's not actually... The other ones actually did output it, but surely that's not it. Why guys are behaving very stupid? Because we're stupid. No JavaScript tutorial, but when we go over TensorFlow.js, I'll at least explain the simple JavaScript that we're going to be using. You're killing me with the GANs, man. Oh, try printing it once. It's not going to be the solution. If it's the solution, it's just not. That's not it. Please don't work. Please don't work. Okay, good. Didn't work. See? Not the solution. I've done both C++ and Java. I just don't see the point. So I'd really like to learn C++ for like robotics reasons, but other than that, definite hard no to Java. Scott. Scott, you're not even on Discord, man. Let's try it. Still wrong, my man. No, never done Lisp. How do you keep... I definitely don't. I'm waiting for the Pastebin to load, Jason. You need to print all 3 lines? Dang, Scott has been bested? That's embarrassing. Dang, RIP to Scott, man. Scoot. All right, it's definitely time for me to eat. So I'm gonna get off now. So next week we'll do TensorFlow.js, and then probably after that audio with deep learning. That's probably where we're going. Nice work to Scott and finally Jason at the end there. I think Scott just couldn't handle the complexity. Scott says this is a bad idea for me to say. Don't say it's time for me to get off now. All right, and with that, I'm out of here.